Hey everyone! Well, we're here. We're back, and today we're doing another anti-MLM video, and the MLM we will be talking about today is DoTERRA. And the video we will be reacting to is a team call, and she is essentially teaching her team 3 ways to attract what she calls builders, but what we know as recruits or potential downlines. Because, of course, as we know, the most important thing in any MLM is not how to find customers, it's how to sell the business opportunity to anyone and everyone you've ever literally locked eyes with and or never locked eyes with. If they have a social media profile, they're fair game in any MLM out there. And I just want to let you guys know that the day I am uploading this, December 6th, is my birthday. So I wanted to upload a video and spend some of the day with you guys talking anti-MLM, anything and everything. It's really what I do enjoy talking about. I love engaging with you guys. So that would just make my birthday even more special. And I think later in the day, probably going to have a nice dinner somewhere. Not quite sure where, but food is absolutely a priority on my birthday. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you really liked it, please subscribe. Make sure to check out my description for all of my fun links. And with all of that said, let's get started.
Hey everyone. Hello. Just gonna give it a second. Turn off my phone here so you don't have to listen to my Voxer ding-dinging the whole time. Okay. So, all right, here we are. We're live at noon. If you are catching the replay, just drop a hashtag replay in the comments below. But if you're here with me live, let me know where you're coming in from. Who's excited to talk about attracting builders today? I know this has been a hot topic and usually one of those key questions that's asked in almost every single one of the videos that I do. It always comes up, but I need builders, but how do I get builders? But my problem is that I don't have any builders, or I need to attract builders. So this is the call for you. The call, the class, the live, whatever you want to call it. All right, so I'm just gonna make sure I can see y'all here in my, all right, I'm seeing comments come in on StreamYard, so I'll just stick to here. I just might not be able to see your names. All right, so let's get started, shall we? This is actually one of my favorite topics because when I started my business, I pretty much just came out of the gates and I was like, I'm gonna find all my builders. Like, I'm gonna do this with people. I definitely didn't want to build my business alone. Although
Also, because you can't, build. We'll go with build. I'll probably say the word builder a lot. I usually take on whatever terminology they use, but we know that they're talking about recruits. That we know she's talking about potential downlines.
I'm very independent, also am a huge lover of the team aspect. So I like to do things with people. Hey everyone, oh my gosh.
Right, I don't know if I finished my point, but basically to make money or to really grow and level up in doTERRA, you do have to have people underneath you. You have to.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this. All right, so like I was saying, when I started my business, I was like, yeah, straight out of the gates, I wanted to have people to do this business with. So guess what? Just like all of you, I didn't have anyone on my team when I started, right? At some point when you started your business, you also had nobody on your team. You had 0 people. We all started with 0 people. Of course, unless we were an account transfer, then lucky you, you probably started with a team. But most of us start with nobody, right? And so it's not like you're going to go out there and you're just going to start talking to people about this business that, you're making thousands and thousands of dollars in, and you're trying to be, you're going to feel inauthentic. You're not going to lie. You're not going to say that, you're killing it in doTERRA and you want them to join you.
No, but if you start a business, usually the first thing that you go out and do would be sell the product, get your name out there, show people, give people samples and do stuff like that. But in an MLM, we know that they're really selling the business opportunity. So it's hard to sell a business opportunity when you have no experience in the business.
That's not how we're doing it. We are going to do this completely authentically, completely organically. You are going to attract builders onto your team. All right. So I'm going to tell you exactly what I did, and my 3 key things that I'm highly recommending that you do or look into or do a little bit of an inventory on for yourself to see, am I doing these 3 things already? And if not, these are 3 easy things that you can start implementing right away. Cool? All right, so first things, the question is, are you attractive? You need to attract builders. Are you attractive? Now, I'm not talking about your looks. Y'all are so pretty, all right? But are you attractive? The question is, would you work with you? That's going to be the first question that you need to ask yourself. Would you work with you? So this is actually something that in my prior career, so I was a general manager for 10 years. And then in my last year, while I was pregnant before going on mat leave, I was in human resources and I was a recruiter for the same company, for the fitness club. So I had about 15 locations that I oversaw, and I did all the hiring for the sales department. And one of the first things that I used to do as a recruiter, as soon as a resume would come across or land in my inbox, someone applying for one of the sales positions, the first thing that I would do is I'd actually look them up on Facebook. I would actually want to know, who is this person?
This is why like Facebook is so you do have to be careful what you put on, or I guess just make your Facebook private, you know, if you don't want potential managers or even strangers to look at things that you do. Because yeah, I know that a lot of employers will look at people's Facebooks just to see how they are. But it's kind of like, to me, maybe like an unfair judgment of another human via Facebook, because obviously people are going to be much different at work than they are with their friends and family, which is usually who you have on Facebook. So that is just me. But of course, like, I guess whatever you're willing to put on social media is fair game. I don't know. I just think that clearly someone who maybe like parties and does things on weekends, that doesn't mean they're going to be a terrible employee and they're just going to party all the time at work. They could be literally the best employee, show up on time, you know, want to work overtime, all of that, but they just like to party on their days off. And a lot of people judge people for the things they do outside of work sometimes. I think that makes sense, but I know a lot of employers do this. So also another side note, her using the word like, are you attractive? I understand what she means by that, but I think she should have used a different terminology, because when you say, are you attractive, you know, people will automatically go to looks. That's just how that is. Maybe she should have used the word like, are you welcoming? Are you inviting? You know, what does your page say about you? Does it make people comfortable when they come to your page or want to engage with you? You know, something like that. I think that sounds better than saying, are you attractive?
Who is this person in real life? Not just the interview that they're going to do with me, but who really are they? And I would be able to gauge within 10 seconds what kind of person it was that was interviewing for this job. I knew what the job, you know, required, and I knew that the team works very closely together, and that energy, personalities, and all of that goes into play with having a successful sales team. And within 10 seconds of me landing on somebody's Facebook profile, I would know, you know, just what kind of person this was based on the energy, the tone, the types of posts that they did. I got so good at it that
that's not necessarily fair, because like people will complain about their jobs. Like, I know that back in the day, like when I did use Facebook more, I would use it as a place to vent about like annoying things that happened at my job. And maybe a future employer would see that as I am naggy, or all I do is complain about my job, which is like, that's my personal Facebook page. I'm allowed to kind of put what I want. And just because I'm complaining about work doesn't mean I'm a bad employee, you know? So it's like, you can say and do a bunch of stuff, but still be a great employee. People vent, people engage, people share things on social media because that's what it is for. It's not for that at work. Work is work. And yes, you can share personal things a little bit, but there's limits. Social media, there's really no limits.
Quickly diagnose it just by going on someone's Facebook page. So here's the thing. When someone lands on your Facebook page, what are they going to think? Because oftentimes you're doing a lot of stuff through social media. So are you attracting people even just based on the presence that you have out there in the online world right now? Because let's be real, everything is online right now, right? Like, we have to build our businesses online because a lot of us can't be out there talking to people right now given the rules. Cool. So when someone lands on your Facebook profile, are you attractive? AKA, look at the tone of voice that you use in your posts. What are you posting about? Are you negative? Are you always blasting things? Are you always venting? Are you swearing? Are you talking smack about people? Like, if I go onto your Facebook page, can I see you being like, man, I had the worst day today, and this mom, whatever. Like,
I mean, people do that all the time on Facebook, and it's just unfortunate that you have to, and a lot of people do this, and I get that, but like when it comes to an MLM, I mean, your Facebook and your Instagram and now your TikTok are just, you are branding yourself. It's not, separate personal and business. Personal and business become interlocked.
Just saying things that are not very attractive. There's certain traits about somebody that will make them attractive, as in polarizing, as in you are attracting the people, places, and the things and experiences that you need in order for you to get to where you want to go in your business. And if I landed on your Facebook page and I saw this negativity, or I saw just an energy that was kind of repelling, and again, please don't confuse this with external attractiveness, or that we can't ever speak our mind, but there's a difference. There really, really is a difference. And when we're trying to connect with people to do this business with us, they're going to want to know what type of person they're wanting to do business with. So I ask you this in the same question: would you work with you? Based on how you are showing up right now, based on how you are showing up in the world, how you are showing up for people, how you are showing up, in cyberspace, right? Because that is so important, because of how people are going to find you right now. So things you can look at your tone of voice, looking at the things you're posting. Also, what's your profile picture? That's one thing you can.
So basically create the typical MLM aesthetic with the aesthetic selfies and the post all the time about how great life is, especially once you join this business, how much your life has changed and how it's for the better, and you can't imagine life any other way because the magical MLM fairies sprinkled their dust on you and now life is perfect.
Easily change, right? Like this. Is the picture inviting, that people are going to be connecting with you on? Or is it a picture of, a lake or a garden or your dog, right? That's something easy right now that you can have a picture within 4 feet of you. Okay. So a picture where like you in the profile looks close enough so people can feel your energy, feel your smile, feel your vibration. That's actually,
I mean, a picture is a picture. Honestly, I'd be more likely to follow someone whose picture is a dog, because I love dog pictures, and I would be so much more interested in the dog than I would be the person.
a huge thing. That's a way to attract people in, and smiling. They just feel like they want to connect with you. So are you someone that people want to work with, that people want to attract to? That is the first thing, right? Your energy and everything about.
Okay, then you should have said, what kind of energy is your Facebook profile putting out, or your social media profile putting out? That to me sounds a lot better than, are you attractive? Like, the energy aspect of it makes a lot of sense.
Your energy. All right, so easy enough. Check your social media right now and give yourself a little self-inventory check. Is there anything about this I would change? You can also ask a friend. You can ask your upline, can you check out my social media?
You can ask a friend. You can ask your upline, because your upline more than likely may be a friend. Like a friend that recruited you.
Like, and if you were to land on there within 10 seconds, is there anything about this that I would change? My tone, am I too abrasive? Am I too whatever? And again, if it's you and it's your personality and it works for you, oh my gosh, roll with it. But if you're finding it's not working for you, chances are you may just need to up level a little bit in some of those areas. That's all. If it doesn't feel good, change it. If it feels good and it's working for you, then you might actually be attracting people just like you, and you have fun with it and you own it and you're confident. Oh my gosh, run with it, because the confidence in itself will be attractive. But oftentimes when people are venting or they're kind of slashing, there's a lot of fear, a lot of.
Did you say slashing when they're venting, or slashing? I don't know. I don't mind when people vent. I think that makes them real. That makes them human. And I guess venting can be like, if you're just constantly venting and constantly complaining about things, then, maybe the other things aren't the problem, it's you. So I guess maybe that's what she's going for. But I mean, it's all of this could have just been summed up into be more aesthetic, be more Instagram, Facebook aesthetic, or, go look at your upline and copy the, daily affirmations of positivity that they just spew out all over the place because they have to, go with that. Just copy your upline.
Or a lot of trauma that comes behind that. And that's actually going to be on the negative side, right? So that's going to give off an energy that isn't actually open for bringing in and attracting the things that you need. So the second thing that I wanted to mention, the second key point here, is going to be sharing your vision but borrowing someone else's story. Okay? So if you right now do not feel authentic in talking about the business because you haven't had success with it, please drop me a comment below if that is you.
Well, yeah, because they should be focusing on, in normal businesses, selling a product, getting out there and selling, but they want you from day one to be selling this opportunity to people and telling them what a great opportunity it is. But how are you to do that if you haven't experienced it yourself? I have seen other MLM companies say that even before you get your box, to be like sharing the experience and sharing the opportunity and how excited you are with other people before you've even tried the products. And to me, that is so absolutely telling that they want people to get out there and sell this opportunity before ever experiencing it themselves.
Is that you where you're just like, how am I going to attract builders right now when I myself haven't even made money? I haven't made significant money, right? Like, who am I to say,
well, that could take forever,
do this business with me when I haven't really seen the success that I've been looking for, right? That's a common thing. That is an absolutely common thing. So,
and you were saying earlier that you want people to be real and authentic. So yeah, for people to go out there and be selling an opportunity that they themselves have not personally experienced, and or maybe they've experienced it for a little bit, but then to say like, oh, you can make so much money when you've made no money yourself, that to me is inauthentic. Why would you go out and sell a dream when you haven't experienced that part of the dream? Like, they want you to sell it to everyone even when you're not experiencing it yourself. That just, to me, is so bizarre.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to shift starting today, all right? Is first off, I want you to have a very, very, very strong vision for why you're doing this. You need to know, like, hands down, why you're doing this business and what it is that this business is going to be a vehicle for. So when I started, my big vision why, I hadn't made $1 yet in doTERRA. Actually, my first month, my unilevel check was 65 cents. They didn't even cut me a check because it was $1.95 to cut the check. And that's back when we used to get checks, not automatic deposit. And I made 65 cents. Okay, so I was not rolling in it in doTERRA, and yet I still was able to attract 19 builders, I remember, in my first couple months, because I had my first boot camp that I ran for just my team, and there's 19 of us there. And this was purely because I shared my vision for where I was going with this. When I started, it was all about, hey, this is what I'm doing. I just started with doTERRA because I absolutely know this is going to be the vehicle for me. I am going to spend the next 9 months, because I was like newly pregnant, right? And I was like, I am going to replace my income with my fitness company that I was with. I'm going to replace my income here, and I am going to hit this rank of gold. And I would show them what gold looked like. I am going to hit this before born. I'm telling you, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm so excited because the girl who mentors me, her name's Erica, and she used to work for the bank, and she replaced her income, and she hit the rank of gold in, I think it was 10 months for that she had done it. And she now does doTERRA full time, and she's the one that's training me, and she's gonna help me train you. And so I know I haven't done it yet, but this is where I'm going. So you end up sharing you share your vision. Your vision does not right now mean that it has to have come true already, but it's your vision.
But anyone can go out there and do anything and say like, hey, yes, I guess follow me on this journey. You know, that's why people create YouTube channels and they vlog and they go, you know, follow me on my weight loss journey, or follow me on my journey to, you know, hike 10 mountains. I don't know, something like that. That's fine, because people who watch it on YouTube and watch someone and want to see them succeed, when you watch something on YouTube, you are just giving up your time for that person. You're not giving up money. By joining an MLM because you want to see somebody succeed, you have to give them money. You know, you have to give not just them money, you're giving the company money. You're giving the company money to hopefully see them succeed. That doesn't make any sense.
You are confident in it. You know where you're going, you know what you're doing, you know why you're doing it. And for some people, you know, oftentimes what they might say is, you know, and if someone says to them, well, how has it gone for you? You haven't even been doing doTERRA for a while. For some people, the truth of the matter is, I've been with doTERRA for a while. I've been using their products. I use it all the time with the kids. Like, I absolutely love the product, but I never really started the business, to be honest with you. For a lot of people, that's the truth. They never really did step into the business because they never brought in business builders, because maybe there was fears there, maybe there was blocks there, whatever there was. But they just say, honestly, I've been with doTERRA for a long time. I've been using the product. I've been loving the product. I've been sharing the product. But now I'm actually ready to step into building this as like a legitimate business, especially with everything that I've learned in the last year with brick and mortars being shut down and the power of just having something from home. I'm really stepping into this. So I'm actually going to be partnering with 3 business partners over the next month. And I'm really selective and I'm choosing wisely.
Because no, you're not. You would select anyone that would say yes. If you asked 100 people and then you said like, sorry, I can only take like 4, no, you would take all 100 of them. This whole being selective thing is just a way to drag people in, create FOMO. Like, I'm just looking for the most special people, and I think you would be the one. And if you were to go on their Facebook, they would have probably tens of hundreds of messages all saying the same thing. Everyone is special. Everyone is unique. They're only looking for a limited amount of people, but weirdly, they will send that to every single person.
These are business partners that I'm going to be going to the top with, and they're going to be going to the top too. And so
if that was the case, then wouldn't more people be making money? Here's this weird like doTERRA income disclosure statement that I found. It is definitely different than a lot of the other ones out there. But if you look at on the right, it says all other distributors. So 250,000. 50% of them earned more than $320. And I think this is in a year. So I believe this is the 2019 income disclosure statement. I'll have it linked below just so you guys can maybe look at all of it yourself. But then we had 10% earned $1,200 and 1% earned $8,700. And this is before taxes and before paying for the products. And if we remember, the last time I talked about doTERRA, the lady that broke things down, she said that you have to spend and or, you know, somebody buys from you. But let's just say spend $100 in PV a month. So you spend $100 or more in oils a month. So that's $1,200 gone a year. And that's to get a paycheck also. So even if you buy $100 in oils and then let's say you sell other things, you know, to just get your paycheck, you have to have 100 PV. They literally withhold your paycheck unless you spend and or sell 100 PV worth of product. That is absolutely absurd to me that they withhold your paycheck until you buy some product or sell it. I mean, of course you would have to sell it, I guess, to, you know, get some sort of income, but probably that's, you know, spend 100 so that you get all the residual income from your downline if you have one. So they withhold that money. It's just, I don't know, it's absurd. And just looking at this, nobody makes money. No one makes money. First year distributors, will look on the left, earned more than $100. Wow, great for them. You know, and top 1% earned more than $860 in a year. And to know that to get any sort of money, they have to, you know, sell and or spend $100 in a month. So more than likely, you know, breaking it down, nobody makes money. What a shock. But we're all shocked to hear that in an MLM, no one makes money.
is where I wanted to have this chat with you, right? So it may be that you've been doing doTERRA for a while, but have you really been doing doTERRA?
If you are a customer of the product, I mean, what does that mean? Like, have you been telling other people about it? Have you been trying to gather other people to join underneath you? Because that is what the real thing is. We haven't talked about the products at all. You know, how to attract builders, have an attractive Instagram account. What was it? No, it wasn't Steal. Steal. Have a good story or something like that, or borrow other people's stories to get people to join with you. It's just, I don't like that. Why can't it be just sell the product? Why can't it just be that?
It wouldn't be inauthentic to say, I've been using doTERRA for a really long time, and I've been sharing doTERRA, but I haven't really been building this as a business. So you can share your vision now, starting from today, you can share your big vision. And what is that big vision? You have to know that first. I can't tell you what your big vision is because my big vision was totally different than yours. And then when I was attracting people after I hit my goal of retiring from my corporate job when it was born,
You didn't retire. You just left your last job. You did not retire from it.
A new big vision. So anyone I attracted after I had my daughter, my new story that I would share with them is, you know, I actually just hit this goal, and now my next goal is that I'm going to be bringing home Dave, right? Which is my husband. I'm going to be retiring Dave from.
You're not retiring your husband either. He's just leaving his job. This word of you're not retiring them. You're just leaving that job. You're still working. Retirement means you are no longer working. You are still working.
His full-time job too. And that was my next big vision. And that's what I would share. And I was able to finally share my own business story at that point. But until you have your own business story that's rocking, you share your vision, no matter where you are right now, whether you have 0 builders, 0 customers on your team, or you have 3, or you have 5, or you have 10, doesn't matter where you are, share your vision, but share someone else's business story until you have your own that makes you like fire when you talk about it.
No, that's ridiculous. But I guess we do see them say, like, you know, if you have any questions, like, you should hear my upline story, you know, it'd be great. Like, if a friend just came to me and then was like, hey, I started this business and it's an MLM, and I'm like, oh, how long have you been doing it? And they're like, oh, like 3 weeks. And I'd be like, and you want me to come along with that? Like, there's no way you know the ins and outs of this company to want me to come with you. And then it's like, well, the person above me, you know, says it's successful. And I'd be like, okay, like, that still doesn't prove anything. Like, unless a person that is close to me, you know, that I would trust them, not some random person who got them. I don't know, this whole, like, just borrow other people's stories. This is just, yeah, you can literally share, you know, tippy top MLM or stories all the time, because that's kind of where it stops. People who are successful at the top, and then people who, you know, maybe they were able to get some sort of income and they were able to go on a trip to Disneyland. They love to talk about trips to Disneyland. How about, you know, the job that they're wanting you to leave that offers healthcare? Does your company offer healthcare? It doesn't. Oh, because you think your oils are healthcare. No, thank you.
Right? The passion is super clear and the conviction in the business is super clear. So that's really what I want you, to take from this. So first off, who is in your upline that you can share their business story? Someone who, you know, your team could essentially also be learning from, right? So, you know, 3 uplines from myself. So my upline is a diamond as well. And then there's a platinum. And then there's the very first, Brad and Donna Toes, you may know them, Taves, you may know them. But they were the very first diamonds in Canada. They're Canadian founders. They're a very power couple, and they're 3 uplines for me. And I mentor with Donna all the time. And, you know, this is a couple that I could easily have said, had of my upline maybe never really built the business and signed me up, and I was like, well, I can't use her story, which I did use her story because she was powerful. But say that wasn't the case, but I still was able to plug my team into all of Brad and Donna's stuff.
Could you imagine if, like, you're getting hired for a job and the person is trying to, like, sell you, like, you came in for an interview, but they're trying to sell you on, like, how great this is, and they're like, Well, see, I would use myself, but like, let me talk about a person that's 3 levels above me. Like, let me talk about the vice president of our company. To be fair, I guess they would do that in like some interviews. Maybe not interviews. Probably not interviews, but like, definitely like orientation. They'll talk about that, maybe things that they've done. But like, to do that as a way to get somebody to join and be like, let me tell you the story of Karen. And it's like, but I don't know Karen. And that's Karen's experience. And Karen got in like 7 years ago. So, of course, Karen's going to have a better experience and have a huge downline. This is not something I want to do. Like, it's just, to me, it's inauthentic to use somebody else's story to get them to join you. Sorry, let me reword that. It's inauthentic to me to try and recruit someone when you have not done the business yourself. And to be fair, the only way to do the business is to recruit. So I guess you do have to steal somebody else's story in order to spark, some sort of interest that this potentially can work, because you yourself are not proof that it works. And you yourself may never be proof that it works unless you get a bunch of people underneath you. And as we see from that income disclosure statement, it's very, very hard.
I would use Donna's story. I would talk about her story. She's now presidential diamond and, has an...
And I guess that is why they tell their stories so much. It's to create like some sort of a connection for other people. But again, I'd rather hear someone tell their personal story than someone tell somebody else's story to drag me in.
Amazing, amazing, incredible story. So go find somebody who is in your upline, who your team could essentially also be learning from, right? So that it's a real person and you're not just making it up. I mean, essentially you could go grab a leadership magazine and pull a story from there. But what would be more ideal is that you're going to actually be telling the business story of someone who your team could also be learning from. So it's someone close to home. It's someone who they can see a real person, right?
How do we know that that story is even real? I mean, a lot of the time it's like, I didn't know what I wanted to do in life and I was a waitress and then I had my baby, so I, joined an MLM and now everything's perfect and amazing. Like, that's such a common story that we hear all the time. Like, or, I hated my 9 to 5 and I was miserable and then I left it and now everything's great and fantastic. Like, they're all the same. They're all the same story.
So this is something that I definitely want you guys to be adopting, right? Share your vision, tell someone else's business story until you have your own. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's a little kind of not cool, because maybe somebody does follow it and genuinely believes that that person's story relates to them, because maybe what an individual is doing is trying to recruit is they look up these people's stories and then they, will curate the perfect story for the right person that they're talking to. So like, if the person is a stay-at-home mom, then they'll grab a story from someone that was a stay-at-home mom or is a stay-at-home mom, and now they make a gajillion dollars in doTERRA. Or someone that's a college dropout, like, oh, found the perfect story, because they all share their stories all the time. So you can just curate the right story for the right person, and maybe that draws them in, and then they lose a bunch of money because this business model is not made for anyone and everyone.
Nothing weird about that, slimy about that, sketchy about that, scammy about that, nothing.
I mean, the fact that you have to say that, you have to reassure us that it's not sketchy, slimy, slammy, whatever, makes me question if you've been called out on that, and or you are just trying to like reassure, like, don't worry, it's not. It may sound like it is. It may sound weird, but it's not.
That is totally authentic, okay? Because it's someone's real story and you're telling their story. You're not telling it as your story. You're telling their story as their story. And that the fact that they're also going to be a mentor to them as well, and they're going to be learning from them. Real people close to home that they're going to feel as though, okay, so this isn't just for the few, this is actually tangible. Like, I can see these people, right? And I know that they've been able to do it. All right, so my last tip for you is I like I was rocking to sleep this morning and I had like my notes up on my phone, typing with one hand the things that I wanted to talk about today. Okay,
real engagement with I get it, work from anywhere, but I don't know, Pay attention to your baby. Pay attention to the sleeping child, the human being you brought into the world, and watch them go to sleep, or just be present with them instead of being on your phone and being like, well, here are the things I need to do when I get on my Zoom call. I mean, at least to be fair, she took notes and, came at least somewhat prepared, because a lot of the time in these team calls, opportunity calls, they kind of just wing it. It's very, very clear, and they kind of just talk and say stuff. I mean, I'm not saying that like she isn't just talking and saying stuff, because I just don't think these points are really that like special, and they're not really, to me, showing how you can attract builders. I mean, I guess, is this a point to like bring people to you, like have people engage with you and want to work with you, or you reaching out to them and how you can get them to join? Because so far I haven't really heard either, besides have an aesthetic Instagram/Facebook and steal other people's stories.
Okay, so my last thing for you is the bold ask. Okay, yes. Okay, this is my favorite. So guys, I call this the bold ask, and it simply is just what it is. You just need to boldly ask people.
See, and that is these poor people who are in MLMs, and they want this to work so bad, and they know the only way to do it is to get people underneath them, to create a downline. And they ask all these different uplines and all these other people, like, how do I attract people? What do I do? And 99% of the time, the answer is always just ask, just talk to people. These people will spend 30 to an hour long minutes in these calls, sending messages, being in Facebook groups, and, wanting so badly to hear the perfect answer. There is no perfect answer. The answer is just talk to people. That's all it is. And these people act like they have the answer. They have the magic sauce of how to get all these people underneath you. And it's really that they were just lucky. They had a big group of friends and family, something like that. And everybody else just has to cold message and reach out to friends and family. That is it. And that's so sad, because other people want it to work so badly for them, and they think there's this secret. There's no secret. It's just luck
to join you in this business. And not in the way that, please don't be one of those network marketers that just land in people's inboxes in a weird way. Don't do that. Don't ask someone out for coffee and then just drop the bomb on them that this is the real reason why you're out for coffee with them. Please don't do that. That's annoying, and people don't like it. Okay, so you need to be you. Rock your confidence, okay? And I want you to just do the bold ask. And sometimes I actually use that exact word when I am talking to them about the business. So I come straight out and I actually just say what I wanted to say, what's been on my heart, right? So maybe it is a girlfriend that I've been thinking about, or that would be amazing at this. Or sometimes it's seeing people who have written something on Facebook. Maybe they just lost their job. They're really struggling. They can't even make ends meet. We know that we have a business opportunity that pays out weekly.
No, that's absolutely disgusting. That is grabbing a person in a vulnerable moment and selling them your dream. You can't say we pay out weekly. Okay, but people have to buy the product. People have to sign up underneath them for money to be coming in. It's not like we just get paid weekly for posting a Facebook post. That's kind of what they make it always seem like. Post an Instagram photo or post a Facebook post. That's all we do, is we just, share the business. Are you getting paid for that? No.
Commission. Someone can make money in doTERRA instantly, like within 7 days. Okay, so if somebody is struggling out there and they're living paycheck to paycheck, why would you not give them the opportunity to not only make ends meet for their family, but exceed that?
Oh my God, this is so gross. What if you haven't yourself seen any money come into doTERRA. So to drag somebody else in who just lost their job or who is working paycheck to paycheck, if they're working paycheck to paycheck, they probably don't have any extra money to pay for the starter kit cost. They probably don't have any extra money to be buying all of these bottles of oils to be sharing about how magical oils are. You know, maybe they don't want to do that because you do have to buy oils in order to be, you know, showing people how wonderful and amazing they are. You know, they always say you don't have to have inventory, but you should have product. So no matter what, you're going to have to buy product. You have to experience it in order to sell it. I mean, maybe people at the top probably don't buy anything anymore. I assume they probably have just like old bottles from like 2016 that they're like, isn't this great? Something like that. But we have the answer to other people's problems with this opportunity. If that was the case, then more people in MLMs would be making something, anything.
And possibly go to the top and be able to have complete financial freedom. And that's where the bold ask comes in. So, you know, just so if I saw someone that posted something on Facebook and that to me was like, oh my goodness, I have a solution for that. Not just the oils, but the actual business opportunity. I might send them a message.
I mean, not just the oils. Yeah, this is the first time that she has mentioned the product in this whole video so far. Finally mentioned the fact that they sell oils, because the whole thing has been about selling the opportunity, selling other people's stories so that other people sign up underneath you, creating an aesthetic Instagram profile so that people feel welcome to your page or whatever, and then just boldly ask people to join underneath you. That's it, because you had the opportunity to change lives. You have it. Weird how MLMs, all of them, have the answer to change lives for the better, when in reality, it's the complete opposite.
And say, hey, Tanya, I actually just saw your post on Facebook. And this wouldn't be a text. I would send it as a voice note.
Weird too. Also strange. I remember the last time when somebody said something about like, I only send voice notes, and like I made a comment in my video being like, do you guys find that weird? Like, is that like really weird to you to have a stranger like send you a voice note? And a lot of you were like, yeah, that's weird.
So they can hear my tone, they can hear my voice, they can hear my passion, they can hear my sincerity, right? Hey, Tanya, I just saw your post on Facebook. I am so sorry for everything you're going through. And I could imagine how challenging that this time must be for you and the family. And I'm just so sorry. Like, my heart is honestly breaking for you. You know what? As soon as I saw it, I just got this pull in my heart to send you a message. And I'm so sorry.
What they see when somebody talks about not having a job anymore. So obviously they know that they're, you know, in a vulnerable position, of course, which is the prime moment for any MLMer. I mean, we see that a lot when I do my Reddit videos and someone says, you know, hey, I just lost my job, or I'm looking for an at-home job, like in a Facebook group or something. And then the MLMers just attack because they're like, I got something for you. And it's like, no, you don't. And for her to see a friend or an acquaintance, or it doesn't matter, a stranger that said, I lost my job, and then for her to play it off like, oh my God, I have the answer for her. I am here to save her. No, really? You are just seeing a potential downline, which means money. That's all that is. Her joining underneath you gives you more money. That does not help her.
Sorry if this is just super bold for me to come out and say, but
it absolutely is.
I couldn't not act on the nudge. I don't know if you know or not that I own my own doTERRA business. And
no, you don't. You do not own your own doTERRA business. You are an independent contractor with doTERRA. You are a salesperson for doTERRA. You do not own anything.
I educate on essential oils and actually get paid by the company to be an educator on natural health. But I'm always looking for amazing people to partner with. And I know that you are someone who If this is at all something that you would be interested in, I mean, we get paid weekly and we get bonuses monthly, performance bonuses monthly. And I know that this could be a financial healing opportunity for you with everything you're going through. If at all this sounds like something that you are interested in, please just shoot me back a message. Again, if it's too bold, or, you know, if this is coming out of.
And this is how people fall into MLMs, because people uplines are telling their downlines that when you see somebody who you view it as, you have a blessing for them, you have the answer, they jump in at vulnerable times for people, and this is how people fall in, because maybe she had never heard of doTERRA. Not saying that this person is even a real person, I know she's just throwing out an example. Uplines telling their downlines to reach out to people who they know just lost their job because they have this wonderful opportunity. They have the answer to their now new problem. It only benefits the person in the MLM because they know that person is going to have to buy a starter kit and going to have to spend X amount of dollars each month in order to stay active in the business, which then the money will flow up into the upline's weekly paycheck. So it's not the answer for the person getting in, it's an exciting opportunity for the person already in an MLM.
Left, feel for you. I totally get it, but I wanted to make sure that I followed my intuition here and reach out to you and just extend this opportunity if it's something that you're interested in. Again, that's not a script. I just said that off the top of my head, right? But if you need a script, write something out that feels right for you. But having that honest conversation and just dropping them a voice note, saying that you thought about them and saying, I'm so sorry that if this is like way bold of me to just go and do this. Canadians say sorry all the time. Like, we apologize for everything. So it's just sort of in my nature, but you don't have to apologize. But sometimes when you say to them, I'm sorry if this is bold, they're like, oh my gosh, no, this isn't bold at all, right? So you're not coming off as in your face and join my team. You're actually.
I mean, I guess, yes, you are not like, you kind of are. There's really no difference. Like, the ultimate thing of sending that message is to say, join my team.
Feeling for the situation that they're in. You're being sincere about what financial troubles that you see that they're in, and you are giving and extending that opportunity for them to see a way out of it.
Right, but what if, like you said before with the other one of like borrowing people's stories because you yourself have not seen any money come in? Why would you offer that opportunity to somebody else? Like, I have a solution for your money problems when it has not solved your own money problems.
Okay, so I agree, Suzanne. Voice notes are the best, right? You want them to hear your emotions and you want them to hear your voice, because especially with right now, people are lacking human connection. So that's a huge thing. So that is the bold ask is that second piece. Now, it doesn't have to be someone who's in financial troubles that you're reaching out to. Maybe it's someone who's just an honest to God go-getter. They are a go-getter. And maybe you saw that they're killing it in their wellness business and you're like, hey girl, I actually just saw your post. I am so proud of you. That is so impressive. You are honestly an inspiration. I have been following you for so long, and just watching all the amazing things you've been accomplishing it's honestly just so inspirational. I don't know if this is totally bold of me just to come out here and say this, but every time I see that post, I have this nudge to reach out to you, and I haven't acted on it yet. And today when I saw your post come through my feed, I thought, that's it. I am reaching out to her. I got to just put this out there. Have you ever considered bringing in another source of residual income into what you're already doing? Because you have such a loyal following and you have such raving fans that
Gross.
They honestly just hang on your every word. And knowing that you're all about natural health, or you're all about fitness, or you're all about whatever it is that they do, right? There, you got to see a parallel. If the person's selling cars and you're like, because you're all about cars and we sell oils, like maybe that doesn't make any sense. But, have you ever considered adding extra residual to it? You already have this whole, community of raving fans that would not only benefit from the product, but they trust what you have to say. Have you ever considered doing that? Because I always think of you every time I see your posts. Again, totally authentic, right? You're not lying. If you're not inspired by the person, please don't send them a message and say you're inspired by them. But if you are inspired by people, this is where the bold ask comes into play. You just go out and you do it. You just go out and you say it, right? And you just get out there and you put yourself out there. And honestly, that is how I got so many builders and shares when I first started my business, a lot of which are still here. And if not building, sharing, or being completely raving customers and still doing over 100 PV, right? Because we know sometimes they drop off. But by just going out there and having conversations with people, again, you only need 3 business partners. That's it, 3 business partners, and then some rockin' shares and customers, right? If you remember our Power of 3 video, if you haven't watched.
Of course, the power of 3, which Plexus is all about, doTERRA, they're all about it. It's just this, like, all you need is 3, and then just get those 3 to get 3, and then get those 3 to get 3. Like, they act like it's just so easy of, like, just sharing the product and getting 3 people on your team. And it's like, it's so much more difficult than that. And then they're all like, well, it's your fault that you failed. No, you make it seem so easy when it's not.
Power 3 video, go watch that, because that's what's going to get you your $2,000 bonus and drive you all the way up to platinum. Okay. So, and I always say this, platinum's the new diamond. So to get your 1,500 in your platinum is a rockin' income. So I would be really putting that together for you. I've been using this feature a ton lately. Awesome. Yes. Okay. Perfect. So I can hear crying right now in the background. So I'm going to wrap this video up. But that was my 3 key tips. So you didn't miss anything. I'm not cutting it short, but I'm hoping that's very helpful for you. The last thing that I want to say is that the mindset piece is everything. If you feel icky, or you feel like, you know, I don't have the confidence to do this, I don't want to do this, oh, the thoughts, they're all creeping up, the thoughts, then you need to come to our workshop, okay?
A workshop is not going to stop somebody who feels uncomfortable reaching out to strangers and selling them on a dream that doesn't exist, or somebody who is socially anxious trying to get someone to join underneath them. Going to a workshop is not going to change somebody's ability to just all of a sudden become a salesperson just like that. Not everyone is cut out for sales. I could go to a gajillion workshops and I still know I would suck at it. I just don't want to be a salesperson. And their whole thing is everyone should and can do this. No, if people don't feel comfortable selling products to their friends and family and strangers, then no, they can't do it. And if people really don't feel comfortable selling, then they definitely don't feel comfortable selling a business opportunity to them.
You've probably already seen it posted. I am running a workshop next Saturday, a statement of desire workshop. So my actual workshops themselves is not doTERRA training. doTERRA training I always give you guys for free, but skills training, mindset training, sales training, that sort of stuff. I'm doing monthly workshops. They're only $10, guys. I'm honestly doing it for next to nothing.
Then don't charge anything. What do you mean, like, why are you doing a workshop? Why are you not just giving it to your doTERRA? Because the people who would be a part of this would be people in your downline or people who are part of doTERRA. More than likely, that's how they hear about it. So you're charging people $10 in the hope that they will become this mastermind salesperson, when the answer is going to be, get out there and talk to people. That's all. Maybe the hour-long mastermind that you paid $10 for, that's probably what she's going to say. It's not like she's going to give you these people who are already ready to be joining underneath you. That's what people, it's not what they want. I'm not going to say that's what they want, but that's kind of what they're like in the hopes of, like, send me to people that would want to join this, and they can't do that. So the only answer they can give is, go out there and talk to people. Go out there and find people with the same interests as you. It's all the same stuff that we hear all the time. There's nothing new. There's no reason to be charging people and or spending $10 for things you already know.
So thank you guys for hopping on live, those of you that were here with me live. And for those of you that I will be seeing next Saturday as part of our workshop, I'm super stoked, super excited. And for the rest of you, have an amazing, amazing week. We do have a team call happening next Tuesday with Blue Diamond, Karina. Oh, I love her. She's one of my very good friends. So that'll be happening at noon on Tuesday. And that's it. That's all for me, guys. I hope you guys have an amazing week. Please come back to this post and let me know if you had any success using one of those 3 key tips that I just taught you. If you've had any success using it, please let me know. I want to hear the successes, the wins, the results that you guys get from going out there, being an attractive person inside, your energy, the vibe you put out, doing the bold ask, having the conversations, just making it authentic. And what was the other thing that I taught you? Oh yeah, sharing your vision and borrowing someone else's story. That's right. Oh man, I like, you know, when you can just like hear a baby in the background and you know you're the only one that can make them stop crying because you've got the milk. Yeah, that's what happens at this point. I can't think properly anymore. All right, love you guys. You're all awesome, and I will see you guys soon. Have an awesome day. Bye. Bye.
Hi, doTERRA lady. Okay, so my computer is absolutely wanting to overheat and die right now, and so is my phone as I'm recording. So luckily we're just at the end here. So this whole throwing out ideas of how to find people, you know, it's like find people who just lost their job or who are looking for a job, or find people who are in a similar niche as you, who are very like have a bunch of followers and you want them to be the one to join underneath you because you know they'd probably bring a lot of potential downlines as well. So there's that. It's like they're throwing out these ideas that, and they're like, but be authentic about it. It's like, well, people are like, oh, that's a great idea. I'll just go to random strangers and tell them how much I love them, and or how I have this answer for them. Like, I came at the right time. I'm the magical MLM fairy that came and sprinkled my doTERRA dust on them, and now everything is great for me. Oh, sorry, I meant them. That is the thing, is that you are attracting people, or you are just getting people to join underneath you. I mean, maybe you do care. I'm not going to say that every single person that joins doesn't care about the people underneath them, but the people underneath them are how they make their real money, and it sucks because the people at the bottom are always going to struggle, no matter what, and they're sitting there and they're waiting in this pool, basically, trying to, like, doggy paddle and stay afloat until they can, like, have a bunch of life preservers and then get on a boat made of people, basically. That's a terrible analogy. I am very sorry. But you guys get what I mean. Is like, everyone starts out doggy paddling and struggling. You know, people at the top start basically on the shallow end, so they're good, and then they can eventually get out because it's easy. And people, they just throw them in the deep end and then blame them when they can't find people, because MLM markets are completely oversaturated, and they can claim all day long, we are not oversaturated. Yes, you are. If most people have been either offered the opportunity or they want nothing to do with it, and, you know, all the people around you in your inner circle are also doing it, it's oversaturated. So don't claim it's not oversaturated when it is. But of course, they're not going to ever say that it's oversaturated, because then people wouldn't join if it's an oversaturated market. That would just be silly. So claim it's not oversaturated and that it will cure everyone's issues always. And it's just, MLMs frustrate me. Alright, you guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you really, really liked it, please subscribe. Let's talk all things doTERRA in the comments below. And until my next video, I will see you guys then. Bye!